Welcome back to art class. Today we are going to be finishing our sandcastle metal embossing. When you get your artwork back, if you did not finish this from last week, you're going to trace over all your pencil lines onto the metal using the foam and a dull pencil. When you're done with that, you can take off of your paper and you can start using the blending tools on the back side of your artwork to press the shapes back outward. And you may decide on which part of your sandcastle you want to be pushed in or pushed out. So some parts of mine I am rubbing and pushing outward, but then when I flip it back over on the front side, I may push some in as well. So you could decide on that. I'm pushing in my windows and some parts, but some parts are sticking out. And make sure you're doing that on your foam piece of paper. Next thing, we're going to cut out our sandcastle, and this can be very sharp. This can be very difficult. This is why I'm cutting out in sections. So little bits at a time is how I'm cutting this out. You also may notice that you can bend the metal backwards if that makes it easier to cut out. So large, big sections first, bending it, and then going underneath and trimming that away. Even when you get to really small detail, you can do that with the small detail as well, bending it backwards, flipping it over, and then cutting it out. This is very sharp, so please be careful as you're cutting today. If you want to make any flags with any scraps or extra pieces of metal, you can do that. When you're done cutting out all of your little pieces, you're going to collect your metal scraps if it makes it easier to put it all on your messy mat to collect it, and then throwing that away, you can do that as well. We're going to be working on a background for our sandcastles. We're going to be using watercolors like we worked on before. Remember, when you use watercolors, you have to have a lot of water on your paper. In this case, we're going to get our paper wet with just water. Make sure you're writing your name and class code at the bottom of your paper, and then with just water, getting your whole entire paper wet. This will help create our beach scene for our sandcastle. We're going to be using these watercolors, and you can blend colors together. So you may have a little orange color, a brown color, a yellow, and because the paper is already wet, it will blend quite nicely to create your sand on your foreground. Then you can add your water, which you may find a darker blue or blend a blue and a violet together for your water. And then we're going to work on our sky. It could be a sunset sky. It could be a blue sky. That's up to you. And when you're done with your watercolor, you can put it on the drying rack. So take your messy mat and your artwork to the drying rack, put your name on the back of your sandcastle, and I will hot glue them on later.